Grand rising. Let me fix this lighting. Oh man, I'm still getting used to not like I don't know. It's just different. How we doing today? Ooh, cancel. Okay. How are we, guys? Grand rising. I hope you enjoyed those frequencies. I was definitely in it, in my feelings. That's what I was feeling. I was just like in my feelings. I don't know if you guys could feel that too. Hi, good to see you. Grand rising. Yeah, so I feel like today's sound meditation reflected how I've been feeling, you know? Um, yeah, these last few days have been a little heavier for me. Definitely have been a little heavier. Haven't been as peppy, and I know why, you know. But it really had me reflecting on why certain things trigger me more than others. And that's something that we should all be asking ourselves, why certain things trigger us. Why certain things. And so when I thought about my trigger this week, when it came to getting, you know, that little suspension on the TikTok lives, I realized that my higher self knows that I'm supposed to be pivoting, that it's gonna be fine. It's not okay, it's not a big deal. 1 week is not gonna break me or whatever. But it's my inner child that really has a hard time with injustice. And I was sitting and reflecting, you know, on all the times that I got in trouble and it wasn't really my fault, or my parents didn't really want to hear my perspective, or they didn't care, or in school being blamed for something and then just it's my fault, you know, that's happened. And so I got really triggered. It really triggered me. And I was just sitting with why, because I'm like, this is not that serious. It is serious, but inner child. And so I was like, okay, because I'm going to be teaching the inner child course next week. So I just feel like it was such a good kind of segue into teaching you guys, or whoever joins on TikTok, for the course next week. I just think it was such a good segue into teaching you by feeling that inner child trigger, which I haven't felt in a little bit. I haven't really felt triggered in a little bit. You know, triggers are not the norm for me right now, but I know they're still just gonna come in randomly. They're gonna get sprinkled in. I'm sure, especially when my soulmate comes in, there's gonna be some triggers. But no, they're supposed to. And if I can preach that, and if I uh, talk to you guys and speak to that all the time, I gotta put my money where my mouth is. Triggers are gifts. And if I believe that things happen for you and not to you, then I gotta take that advice as well. And so what I'm getting at is that a lot of you, if you resonate with me, if you resonate with my frequency, with my energy, that means you're on the same wavelength. You're just waking up more, turning on your light more. But if you guys resonate, that means a lot of you are light workers. A lot of you are here to raise the consciousness of the planet. But it has to start with you. It has to start with your own. And a lot of us love to give advice and love to be there for others because we have great advice. We are wise beyond our years. A lot of us are old souls, right? So we have really good advice. It's some of the stuff we're just like, man, people always come to me. After you give that advice over the phone or whatever, they come over and then they leave. You sit there and you're like, man, what would happen if I actually took my own advice for once? Because it's the truth. We give such great advice. We're always dishing it out. And it came to a point in my healing journey where I was like, yo, Krista, it's time to start actually walking the walk. Walking the actual journey, not talking, not just sitting here in a dream state all day, but actually taking inspired action, actually welcoming your triggers, sitting with them and not just trying to brush them off, not going back into that suppression mode when something does happen that you have valid reasons to be upset about. But I found myself this week being like, no, I've been doing so good. I've been in such a positive space. Everything was going great. Why? This is just annoying. Why? No, I want to just keep being happy and just keep being in this space. But no, that's not how I operate anymore. I walk the walk now. And if I'm walking the walk, when I tell you guys to feel your feelings, let it out, cry, be angry, be upset, then why would I not give that same love and compassion and validation to myself? And so I had to pump the brakes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, we all are. And so, yeah, this week I was just trying to pivot. Yes, go on here. And I did it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Hey, I'm here. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that there's not still heaviness on my heart because my inner child just doesn't feel seen or heard. I feel my inner child feels powerless. And then it trickles into the higher self, the adult self, because the adult self still working through some money wounds and still, trying to not live in lack and know that everything will be okay. But then when something happens, and it happens really close to the source of your financial security, you can start to panic. You can start to go into that money wound, that lack mindset, that, oh no, everything's going to be... Had to wind it back. Again, if I tell you guys not to, what you put out is what the universe will give you more of, then that means the same goes for me, right? I'm not exempt from the universal laws. Again, whoa, wind it back, Chris. Walk the walk. Sit there in meditation, everything's fine. Last night I got a massage. I was just like, okay, I feel tense. I went and got a 80-minute massage, and before I drifted off into like a faraway dimension, it was magical. Oh my gosh, the massage was amazing. But anyway, I digress. I was doing money affirmations and mantras because instead of letting my brain just go to anxiety over something that's not even happening, something that is not even real. I'm not in a financial stress at all. Instead of letting my mind go to what if and this and then so the universe is going to give me more. And if I were to stay in this energy, I'm sure something else. My car would break down. You know what I'm saying? And don't do that. I'm just talking about. I'm using examples, educating. Okay, I'm not saying I want it. Anyway, if I were to stay in that, I'm going to be in that fear mindset. And so the universe is going to give me more things to be scared of, more things to feel in lack of. So while I was on that table face down, getting the best massage, getting some touch therapy, because that's one of the modalities that I go to when I'm feeling, off or just needing a little extra care. Touch therapy is my fave. Also one of my love languages, top 3. I was saying this. I was like, money comes to me easily. Money flows to me. When money leaves, money comes right back. I am not in lack. I am so abundant. There are multiple streams of income coming my way. I never have to worry about money again. Man, that felt so much better than stressing over something that hasn't even happened, that isn't even real. But what is real is that I'm here and I'm fine and I'm good and I'm taken care of and I'm not hungry. My lights are on. So in this moment, if I just be here now, yay. Yeah. If I just be here now, be in the present moment, focus on what is actually happening, What's happening is that I'm still just as good as I was before the suspension happened. It's just my ego trying to protect me from a false sense of danger. And because my ego has been in overdrive and has been in control of my subconscious for such a long time, it's normal for me to automatically want to go back to that neural pathway of worrying, of lack, of fear. That feels normal to me, even though I don't resonate with it. It feels normal because that is the way that I was conditioned to show up for the majority of my life. So now, since I'm on this journey and I am conscious and I am aware of what I'm thinking and how powerful my thoughts are, I'm making a conscious choice to rewire my thoughts, reprogram, and choosing something different to focus on. Instead of choosing to focus on the lack, I am choosing to focus on the abundance that is already here. And that feels so much better. And that feels more powerful. And that feels more in my divine feminine energy. And that feels like someone who can feel their feelings, who can validate themselves, who can give their inner child that nourishment. I feel you, Kristen. I understand. It's not right. What do you need? You need a massage? Okay, let's book it. I love you. I see you. You're not alone in this. You don't have to go off the rails. I got you. Your higher self is here. God is here. Trust. Have faith. Take some deep breaths, little Chris. We know you're a little anxious in your childhood. You were a little anxious in childhood, and that's coming out now. But guess what? This is not how we cope anymore. By spiraling and having self-destructive thoughts. We allow ourselves to feel the uncomfortable feelings, feel the low vibrational feelings. We don't judge ourselves for feeling that way. We talk to people that make us feel safe, that validate us. We don't go to people that we know are gonna probably make the situation worse because we learn to protect our energy now, right? So we go to people that we know see us. We pivot and we adapt to change. We push through things that make us feel uncomfortable, like being on YouTube right now. And I'm not really that uncomfortable. It's just different. It's just a change. It was just something that happened before I was ready. It was something that happened out of my control, which makes me feel anxious because my anxious attachment lies to me and says, if you're not in control, something bad is gonna happen. But guess what? Guess what? I'm not. I'm just co-creating my life with a higher power. And at the end of the day, the higher power has the final say. And the higher power said, pivot. And the higher power has been telling me to pivot for months. And I didn't want to listen because I was comfortable and I was attached to one thing. And so God, the universe, higher power said, okay, you want to keep procrastinating? You want to freeze? You want to be procrastinating in your freeze response because you're scared to pivot? Okay. Do. Pivot now. Don't have a choice unless, well, actually I do. Actually, we all do. We can choose to go with the changes, to listen to our inner guidance, to get out of our comfort zone and get shaken up and learn the lesson and why we have to change, reflect on why it feels so uncomfortable since that's the only thing that's constant in this world. And maybe the lesson in all of this is to get comfortable with the change so that way when you're asked to pivot, you A, don't freeze for so long, and B, you don't get shaken up for days and days because you're used to it and you've trained yourself. You've trained your subconscious, you've trained your ego to not show up in anxiety when adversity or change is presented to us, but to show up in confidence and excitement. Okay, what's new? Let's go. I've learned it for a while, God will force you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you can choose to show up empowered. You can choose, we have choices. We have choices. When we decide to get out of autopilot, when we are awakened, when we are blasted open, we then have the awareness to know that we have choices. We have choices to stay at this job. We have choices to stay in this marriage. We have choices to stay in the friendship. We have choices to stay connected to our parents. It is a choice that we have. The latter, the other choice, is maybe uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean that that's not the choice that you need to make to grow. Because no one said that growing was comfortable or supposed to be. And if it was, everybody would do it sooner. Because no one wants to live like this. Always in the intrusive thoughts. Not feeling excited about life. Being in fear of money. Being a slave to money. That is not fun. That is not enjoyable. And the people who feel like they love grinding and always being under pressure, and this is, yeah, I love it. Hustle. That is a trauma response. You're exposing yourself. And that's okay. But just know, go, never sitting still, never taking time to connect to yourself, always being disconnected on the phone, always watching TV, always doing everything but what you know you should be doing, which is figuring out what makes you happy and aligning with that. You have a choice. You make choices every single day, all day long. And they either propel you forward, they either keep you exactly where you are, or some of them take you backwards, and not in a good way, not in a reflection way. So, 4:44 on the clock. So, thank you for just sticking with me as I navigate my journey, and you guys see. And actually, I love that this happens to you guys, and I love that I can be transparent about these things so that you guys know everything's not always good in the hood over here. I know a lot of people see my energy and they're just like, what the heck? Is this real? It's not. Yeah. But things happen. This is now my new norm, being in this, my headspace, which is amazing. Like, this is my new norm. This is my new frequency. You know, it used to be here. Now I'm just coasting right here, and then a little bit of, it keeps elevating. And it actually, like, the lows or the negative experiences don't feel as detrimental as anymore. So I'm really taking a lot of inventory. This has been a great learning experience, even though it's on a scale of what's going on in the world. It's a breadcrumb, it's minuscule, but in my world and in my emotional world and what I'm dealing with, it has checked a lot of lessons. It has forced me to really sit with my feelings. It has forced me to look at how quickly I suppress and go back into that disassociative mode from my feelings, not wanting to really feel fully. It has showed me the people in my life that I'm really safe with, that love me. It's shown me so much. It's shown me you guys and the people who really are connecting with me. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of beautiful learning lessons. And the biggest abundant moment of it all is just the headspace that I'm in. That's the thing that is the most beautiful, is that I have the ability and the capability and the capacity to have multiple perspectives and see it and feel it and just, just be here now. So this journey is a beautiful mess, and I love it. I really do. And I love what it's teaching me and how it is forcing me to really look deep at parts of myself that I have never even seen before. And that is so empowering, and I'm really grateful. I'm very, very grateful, and I hope that you guys can find gratitude every single day as well, because there is so much that we all have to be grateful for, and being in the vibration of gratitude is an amazing frequency to be in. And a lot of things can manifest in the frequency of gratitude. We appreciate you still showing up for yourself and us. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. It means a lot. It means really a lot. I've definitely felt more disconnected from you guys these last couple days, just because I guess it's just with like not seeing, it's just different. It really is. Not seeing your names, just even the interface is not as interactive as TikTok. And so they know what they're doing with creating that community. They do, but definitely have some kinks to work out as far as protecting the creators and not letting anybody just be able to come in. But my solution is just having that subscriber only lives, which I'm still going to be doing more of the lives on here and using TikTok for more classroom workshops. So that's the way I'm pivoting and kind of feeling more comfortable and creating that security within myself, because I have to. So I think what I'm going to do for TikTok is I will go live open to the public maybe once or twice a week. And then the rest will be exclusive for subscribers. And it actually is a easier and faster way for me to teach more of the courses throughout the week, because now, since I'm doing probably 3 out of the 5 for subscribers only, we'll be able to just do as many courses as we need to and as we want. So you guys will be able to just request what you guys want to work on, and then boom, let's do a course around it. Let's do a workshop on it so we can just really propel this healing. Because my goal is not for you guys to need me, or not need me, but my goal is for you guys to go off and do your thing and inspire others and help other people turn their light on. I tell that to my one-on-one clients too. My goal, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to keep it as long as possible because that's just money, money, money. That's not how I see it. The abundance is going to come in all different ways. I'm not worried about that. My thing is, I want my clients to really feel valued. Like, I want my clients to really feel challenged and ready and equipped, hopefully in the 12 weeks, to have enough tools in their toolbox and have enough truth to be cracked open with in my sessions to go off and do their thing. That is my mission. That is how confident I am in helping people navigate to the truth if they're ready. And that's something I've really been learning and reflecting on a lot. A lot of people are not ready for the truth. They really aren't, because they know that with the truth comes then the burden of actually acting on now what you know. And now it makes sense why that saying, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. When I didn't have to hold myself accountable, and I just kept to blame all the men that I dated, and I just could, thank you. When I was just in that 3D matrix, yeah, it felt so good because I never had to hold myself accountable, right? I could, and then all my friends we were all asleep too. All my friends were asleep. So yeah, I'm so done with him. I'm so glad that he's done. Meanwhile, I've done a lot of things to contribute this. I'm not talking about it. And then what are my friends? They mirror back the same toxicity. Yeah, he was this, he was that, he was this. Yeah. Move on. Yeah, just move on, girl. Move on. Yep. Tomorrow we're gonna go out and forget about it. Let's go. Shots. And then the next trauma bond enters in a couple months. Oh, yes, this is the one. Yeah, he's saying everything. 6 months later, drained, don't even look like the same person, hair falling out, dry skin, haven't smiled in weeks, stops listening to music, doesn't work out anymore, hasn't eaten in 3 days, turning to substances to cope, not talking to friends anymore about what's really going on, no longer wanting to go out, super anxious all the time. It's crazy, the downfall, how quickly the downfall happens in those toxic relationships. Wild. So I'm really excited to get started on the Inner Child course. hopefully next week. I think they said I'm suspended until the 15th or something, so whatever, the next day. I got banana banned for doing lies too. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they didn't listen. Mayosha. Okay, like I love seeing it. I wish it just stayed up so I could just see it all the time. I have to figure out if there's a way to help the chat just stay. I just want to see it all the time. But yeah, so it's gonna either be Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever. Obviously I'll keep in contact with you guys through here and whatever. But the first one, the inner child, be ready. I want you guys, I will have it available for replay as well. But be ready for tenderness. I need you guys to take some tea, something to get you really nice and grounded and centered. We will open with and make a nice grounding meditation, and then talk about a few things. And then at the end, we're going to go through an inner child visualization, which can be very triggering. So just come being ready to work. Come being ready to be vulnerable. Come being ready to open your heart and share your heart with others. Come being ready to journal and express in the group. Come being ready to get uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm going to challenge you guys in these courses. I'm going to follow up. There's going to be homework. There's going to be different things that we're going to have to do. So I'm really, really excited to get started. I love teaching. I've always gotten in positions at work where I'm like training and stuff. So now it makes sense. Like I love teaching. So I'm very excited to expand and open up these courses and workshops for people who are really, really ready to do this work, or already doing the work but ready to go to a deeper level, or missing something. There's some pieces, ready to connect some more dots that are not there, that are not made readily available right now. And so hopefully I can unlock and help guide you guys to some deeper truths within yourself so that we can set yourself free. We'll do creative stuff. I'm just excited. So good things coming, good things coming. I also have my in-person workshop, women's group, tomorrow morning. So yeah, doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot of ways to get my message out there and try to expand and be more visible. So it's been really good. And I hope that you guys are taking these messages and really sitting with yourself about the things that you want to do, because that is another workshop that I'm really excited to do, is finding your purpose, stepping into your purpose. That feeling of feeling lost, that feeling of feeling like you don't know where you belong, where your place is, what you're supposed to do, what your contribution is in the world, is not a good feeling. I know firsthand it's not a good feeling to know that you're not in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. It's not a good feeling at all. It really isn't. So I want to, and a lot of that will come from the inner child. A lot of that will come from the inner child. So those two courses will go hand in hand, because our inner child holds a lot of the keys to what we are supposed to be doing. The things that we were interested in, the things that we gravitated to naturally as children, usually are the things that we end up finding back again in adulthood. I played music for 12 years. Hi, have you met me? Over here trying to produce an EP now. Literally want to produce music. It's just, I just love playing. I love to have opportunities to play. I took a good hard look at my interests and figured out what I'm most passionate about, but still to figure out how to turn it. Yes, I know. I completely agree. And this has come with time. Like this started about 2 years ago. First, I was in the headspace of, I'm going to be a poet. I'm going to write, because that was initially the way that I felt comfortable expressing myself. So I was writing, putting out my poetry. Ooh, this feels good. Okay. Then I hit more dark nights of the soul. So then I was just very uninspired, still just doing stuff, just healing, crying, grieving, just doing a lot of inner work and just in the house every day, all day by myself. Then I felt inspired to write again and went through another wave. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to write a book. Yes, I'm going to write a book. So I started speaking that. I'm going to write a book. Then I just started losing interest on writing. And then I wanted to start speaking more. Hi, Farah, Grand Rising. Then I wanted to start speaking more, right? So then I started doing the videos, and that's when I started my career and being consistent on TikTok. And then migrating the videos over here and wanting to be more visible through that and speaking. And then I'm being asked to be on podcasts and speaking. And, it's just evolving. And then I got the call December 8th or something to order these sound bowls. Maybe my inner child was like, what is missing? Something's missing. Something's missing. What is it? There's like a void. What is it? I know it's not my ex. I know, there was something. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I ordered these sound bowls and played that first night, burst into tears. Void filled. It was me. It was a part of myself that was missing. My inner child was yearning still for this. My inner child was so confused on why I ever stopped, because playing music has been something that has always been my escape, my healthy escape from the chaos I was in childhood and the pain that I was suffering from. It's always been such a beautiful escape and just something that always has made me so happy. Music is running through me. I have so many tattoos about music, and it's always been something that has just saved me. I remember being like in 5th grade singing Boys to Men, all the love songs, not really knowing what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't been in love that deeply at that age, but I felt it. I knew what it was. I was so empathic, so empathic. Let me see. I told myself that I always wanted to be a producer of music, and I'm going to challenge myself to get some equipment. Okay, can you help me out, Nick? What's up? Can you help me out? Your girl's trying to produce. Can I be a client? So, yeah, it's just the very thing that makes us us. Also, I did write a book in 5th grade. I used to love Goosebumps, and I'll get back to the music thought. ADHD, but I remembered it. Keep it in the folder. Music. Don't let me forget. I already forgot the next thought now. Wait, what was I going to say? Oh, I did write a book. I used to be obsessed with Goosebumps when I was little. Reading those Goosebumps. I used to love it. And I wrote a book and illustrated it. It was, 10, 15 pages, but I was like in 5th grade. And I remember showing my mom and showing people and not really getting that encouragement or the support or like really the reaction that I guess I needed. I don't know. And I don't even know what happened. I wish I would have saved it. I probably threw it away. But that was in 5th grade that I, on my own, just wrote a book, made a whole storyline, illustrated it. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And why is that that was one of the first things that came back to me as I started in my healing journey? Oh, I want to write poetry. I want to write. Why is it that, middle school, I played the music, and then I stopped playing music, and now, again, I'm playing music? Why is it that dance was always my way of feeling so free and happy as a little girl? I was always the one in the middle of the circle. Go, Kristen, go, Kristen, go, Kristen. At like 3 years old, I just always had this energy. And then I stopped dancing. And I started being so insecure to just get out there. And then fast forward, your girl is dancing at Publix. Your girl is dancing at stoplights. Your girl's dancing full out at the car shop while her, tires are getting changed out. She's in the lobby and a song comes on and she's hitting it. What I'm saying is that the conscious adult is the child who survives. I'm going to say it every day. We are running from our inner children. We're running from that inner child because that inner child is carrying a lot of darkness. But also, that inner child is carrying the key to your liberation. That inner child is carrying the knowledge and the wisdom of your life purpose and mission. Because had you had an environment that actually supported and nourished and watered your passions at a young age, a lot of you would not be in the jobs that you're in right now. You wouldn't be doing the things and wasting a lot of energy on things that don't make you happy just because you're a slave to money. You would have probably already written several books. You would have probably already produced several songs. You would have probably already been in several movies or already been the lawyer or already done with your medical degree, or already an entrepreneur with a successful Fortune 500 company. But because our environment so greatly affects our growth, a lot of us are stunted. We're stunted, still stunted. And your inner child is showing up a lot more often now because your soul is ready to evolve, and it's evolving faster than your ego. And so the discomfort and the just out of balance, out of alignment that you feel is actually because part of your soul is already elevating, and your 3D ego is keeping you here. And so the friction of frequencies is not meshing. You're not in harmony with yourself because you're resisting where you're going. Because you're scared to face the darkness in your childhood. It's all connected. Whew. This is why this inner child course next week is so beneficial. Grand Rising Maya, nice to see you. This is why this inner child course is going to unlock a lot of keys. It's going to unlock a lot of confusion. It's going to give you a lot of clarity. And it's also going to present you with a lot of uncomfortable decisions and choices that you're going to have to make after the course, should you choose to. But what I'm saying is, after the inner child course, a lot of you are going to have a clear, crystal clear picture of what you need to do in order to elevate. And some of you are not going to like what that picture looks like at first, because it's going to require you to let go of people. It's going to require you to put in that 2 weeks at the job. It's going to require you to start building whatever your business is and start actually investing in yourself. It's going to require you to start showing up on social media and maybe showing your face, getting out of your stage fright. It's going to require you to start, maybe posting pictures more often, putting yourself out there, appreciating yourself, getting out of your comfort zone, starting going to the gym, saying no to sugar, saying no to alcohol, whatever it is. It's going to be a challenge because what you're doing currently is more comfortable, even though it's no longer serving you. And that's the irony of this whole thing. We end up creating the exact life that we don't want because of our trauma and because we are too scared to face our darkness. We end up manifesting exactly what we are running away from. Oh my gosh. I was running away from the fact that my dad abandoned me. I was running away from the fact of feeling unloved by my father. So then I ran right into the relationship with someone that abandoned me and made me feel unloved. We gotta change. We have to be the change. It's not anyone else's fault. It's no one's fault. But you do have to hold yourself accountable. You do have to start protecting your inner child. You do have to have as much outrage and compassion for your own inner child as you do for your children that are in front of you. Or I need you to cry as hard for your own inner child as you do for the children on TikTok. Honestly. When you see something unjust, if you see something in the news about a child being abused and a child doing this and that, I need you to be, and it strikes something in you and it makes you just sob. I can't believe people would do this to children. I can't believe that people would do this to children. This is so hurtful. What is the world that we're living in? Da, 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 da. You are that child. It happened to you too. You deserve the love and compassion that you give everybody else, is what I'm trying to say. I never wanted to live in Kentucky as a kid. And when I left, Wait, hold on. Let me get the chat back up. I never wanted to live in Kentucky as a kid, and I left when I was 18 only to run back in fear of 2020. See, yep, you see? Yep. Yeah. You will be put back in the positions that you're running from. I ran away in 2018. I packed up my bags, rented out my house, and flew over to Los Angeles. I was like, that's it. I'm done. I don't feel it here anymore. I'm running, right? I wasn't really running. It was a whole evolution. I was being guided. But I got there and all these things and this and that and did the things and, you know, learned the lessons, met the love of my life, had the biggest heartbreak, woke me up, all the things, right? It was really beneficial for me to leave. But guess where I did the majority of my healing? Guess where the majority of my healing happened? When I moved back to Florida and started interacting with my family again, because that's what I was running from. The pain of not feeling seen or understood by my family, the pain of not really feeling like I had a genuine connection with my family, feeling like I was just posting pictures on Mother's Day and Father's Day just to feel some sense of normalcy, feeling like I was just posting pictures just to make people think, yeah, I got it, and to just lie to myself that I had a great relationship with my mom and dad, even though I felt very disconnected in different ways from both of them, even though I felt very unseen and very unheard by both of them. I was lying to myself because society makes us feel bad if we don't fit in. They paint a picture of what the perfect family looks like in all these sitcoms and shows growing up. And then when your family doesn't look like that, you automatically think that there's something wrong. Why am I different? How come my dad drinks all the time? Man, this dad is always there and dinner and doing everything. How come my dad is just over there passed out, not paying attention? Something must be wrong with me and this. So let me capture a few moments and write out a whole caption that is not really true, so I can lie to myself and others that I have the best dad in the world. I'm speaking to someone directly. Some of us are still giving credit where it's not really due. Some of us really need to hold people accountable in our lives. So on that note, let's go into the messages, because I want to leave time. I forgot yesterday about questions. I want to start actually designating and leaving time at the end for you guys to ask specific questions. I get too carried away on these messages and then the time's up and I'm like, no, I want to give them an opportunity to engage and ask specific things. So we will have some Q&A coming up in a moment because your questions help other people. And since this is going to be saved on here, it's amazing. So if someone comes past this video in 3 months, 4 months, and has something similar that's going on, you will be helping people heal in different timelines. Isn't that cool to think about? Whoa, okay, calm down. Isn't that cool to think about though? Like how this information, how these videos and how time is an illusion, and these videos are timeless, and that a year from now, oh, wow, the whole alcohol was mine, because that wasn't mine. I was just using that example. My dad did abuse substances, but that wasn't my reality, seeing my dad drunk on the couch. That was literally just something that popped in. So that was definitely for you. I feel like I've been connected to your energy a lot. Yesterday, too. All right, something we may need to chat. I don't know. That's interesting. Oh, I just thought about that thought earlier. Man, being more aware is crazy, because now I really am aware of how fast my brain goes. My brain is thinking 6 different things. Like the ADHD, the undiagnosed ADHD makes so much sense for my life now. Now I'm diagnosed now, but now that I've figured that out, wow, everything makes sense. No wonder why I was so bored in school and why I always wanted to get up and walk around. Even in my corporate job, I could not sit still. Every 20 minutes, I had to just get up, lock the computer. Ugh, I'm not meant to be caged. I need to move. But also, makes me get off topic, as you can see. All right, focus, Kristen. Okay. Man, some of the same stuff. It's crazy. I really am connecting to the same energy over and over. The message is really, really consistent. Wow. Woo. Okay. Some lower vibrational energy to talk about, work through, learning lessons. Okay. So if 22, I have a master number 22, 222, if you've been seeing 222, this could be for you. Or 22, your birthday's only 22, or you're 22 years old. 16 or 777. 43 or 777. So definitely if you've been seeing 777 a lot, or 77 or 7 resonates and that's a powerful number for you, then this message may be for you. So lower vibration, denial, self-esteem, and risk. Similar message yesterday. Some of you, or someone that I'm connecting to, is choosing that ignorance is bliss. See how they have one eye covered, and see how they have hands taking off the mask, and then you're stepping into the light. The other hand, you're in the light. Some of you are so in denial of who you really are. Who you really are. Some of you are in such denial of your light, your power, your gifts. You keep downplaying yourself, and it is causing you to have low self-esteem. Archangel Michael. If Michael is significant, if Archangel Michael, if that's a spirit guide that you resonate with, or if Michael is someone significant in your life, or if your name is Michael, this could be for you. But because you are in denial about who you are, in denial about the changes that are inevitable, it is doing damage to your self-esteem. Because when we don't follow our heart and we're not in alignment with who we are, it doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel grounded. Because we are not in our frequency. We are in disalignment, in alignment. I don't know if that's the word. So because you are in denial, and some of you are not in denial, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but you're choosing to act like, oh, I don't really know if this is like the right thing. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what? You just keep questioning it because it's the fear. And a lot of you are in that freeze response, your nervous system. You're not lazy. You're not just inherently a procrastinator. You are literally in a freeze response from moving forward with some of the things that you know you need to do because you are so in denial and scared to take the perceived risk. This came out yesterday. You stepping into your authenticity is not a risk. You think it's a risk because you are so scared of society judging you. But the risk is you continuing to live this lie. The risk is you continuing to have your nervous system dysregulated because you are not in an environment that promotes your growth. The risk is continuing to stay in a job that is requiring you to work hours and hours and take away precious moments that you will never get back from your family, and take away hours and hours of sleep, which is taking away hours and hours of your life every single day. Some of you guys have it backwards. There is more risk on your mental health and your physical health by being in denial, by not doing the things that you know you need to do, than doing those things. Truly, you are at more risk mentally and emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, by not taking these perceived risks and doing the things that you know you need to do to elevate. Your abundance, your guides, your spirit guides are literally telling me so clear. They are waiting to support you. You're seeing these angel numbers. You're seeing the 222. You're seeing the 777 because they are trying to communicate with you to either And I heard just now 555. If you've been seeing 555 a lot, that means change. Be the change. Either change is coming or be the change. You have to help your spirit guides, God, the universe out. They can give you all the downloads. They can send you the enlightenment. They can send the people in your life to give you the direct confirmations. They can put the videos on your timeline to be like bells and whistles. Hello, I'm talking to you. They can give you the signs. They can put certain songs on. There's so many ways that your spirit team communicates with you. It's whether you are listening. 222 has been big for me too. Huge. Been seeing 222 all the time. So the perceived risk of not doing these things is greater than doing them. Some of you really need to work on your limiting beliefs. If you can't prove that something that you're thinking is an absolute truth, it's a limiting belief. Fight me on it. It's an absolute truth that I'm a dark-skinned Black woman. Right? It's an absolute truth. This is the reality, or maybe in this realm, at least. In this realm. In the tangible, my meat suit, my 3D flesh sack is a dark-skinned Black woman. That's how I am in this realm, right? But it's not an absolute truth that I'm going to lose all my followers on TikTok because I can't go live for 5 days. It's not an absolute truth. So therefore, it's a limiting belief that limits me, that if I let it, will limit me from pushing forward, will limit me from doing the things that I need to do because, oh, well, since I got suspended for a week, I'm going to lose all my followers, so what's the point? So if I followed my 3D, if I allowed my ego, if my ego was still in overdrive, if I had not had ego death in the last 2 years, I would have ran with that and I would have let it stress me out every single day. But it's not an absolute truth. So why would I do that to myself? I'm stronger and more powerful than that. And so are you. So take the risk. Stop with the ignorance is bliss. It's not blissful anymore. And start doing what you need to do. Enough is enough. Level up. Stop playing small. Enough is enough. You've run from whatever it is that you've run from long enough. Time is up. Let's go. Okay. Next. Oh. Okay. Man, Spirit is laying it on y'all today. And me too. I'm not exempt. All right, so if you have been seeing 1111, 111, 777 again, 222 again, or the number 20, 34, or 29, if those resonate with you, birthdays on those days, this may be for you. Okay. This came up in yesterday's message. Exhaustion, deprivation, and despair. So exhaustion came up. Another group that I'm speaking to, or maybe be speaking to the same person, the exhaustion that you feel, the despair that you feel, the deprivation that you feel. Goes back to here. It is physically affecting you not to follow your truth at this point. Because once you reach a point of enlightenment, once you reach a point of consciousness, it is literally painful to continue living in the matrix. It is literally physically, emotionally, and mentally draining to continue with the dense, mundane, 3D of this crazy reality that the majority of us are in. It is exhausting. It can feel like despair. Literally. You can feel deprived of your basic needs, like healthy food, food with seeds. If you let it, this life will eat you up and spit you out if you do not get a hold of this. I've been having chest pains all week. Yeah, and closer friends have been experiencing the same thing. And let me tell you that. Thank you for bringing that up. When you start experiencing all of a sudden, out of the blue, you just start having a throat ache, or all of a sudden, because your soul is already in a different dimension. Your soul is already way ahead on the timeline. We're just waiting for you to catch up. So then all of a sudden when you wake up and you're like, gosh, my throat is just hurting so bad out of the blue. Man, it just keeps coughing. Man, why is my throat hurting? So crazy. You start drinking the tea. And of course, logically, you're going to say, oh man, I just must be getting sick. But then the next day or later on that day, you're presented with an opportunity to have a conversation. All of a sudden you get a trigger from mom on the phone that same day. You're not feeling well, your throat's hurting. And all of a sudden mom calls you and she says something, and boy, she triggers you. And all of a sudden you start coughing more. And all of a sudden your throat closes up more. Why? Because your higher self was already preparing for that conversation. Your higher self has already had the conversation. And because of that, your throat chakra is opening. But it's opening in a different time frame, in a different time and space that you're not in yet because you're scared to take the risks. But you're feeling it physically. I don't know if this is a lot, but let me know if you're still with me. So the physical symptoms that we feel during this ascension and spiritual awakening oftentimes happen because there's a lot of emotional and spiritual reconciliation and healing happening with our higher selves. And then our physical body is feeling it because it's just happening at such a fast rate, faster than what we're experiencing here in the 3D, because it's very dense here. And we have a lot of fears here, and we have a lot of conditioning and programming to get through. But once you can break through that, you start elevating. The exhaustion goes away. The energy comes back. You're not in despair, but you're in hope and faith and excitement. But you got to get through this denseness, guys. Stop trying to spiritually bypass. That just dropped right in. Some of you are trying to spiritually bypass certain lessons. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to stay stagnant and stuck until you have the conversation. You're going to stay stagnant and stuck until you put the 2 weeks in. I'm just being real. Do it when you're ready. But just know that you're making a choice to feel the way that you're feeling by continuing to look the other way from the guidance that you've been given. Okay? You know I'm all about the truth. So that's it. Gotcha. Good. Okay. So let's move on to a lighter note. Let's move on to your higher self, your 5D self, because your 5D self is experiencing way more pleasure, which is the next thing that we're going to talk about. So if you've been seeing 999, 999, nines, or 888, 88, eights, 888, 999. This may be a message for you, or if you're 26, birthday's on the 26th, something is significant on the 26th of the month. 9, so if you're maybe born in September, if 9 is a special number for you, if something special is on the 9th anniversary, whatever, maybe a message for you. These cards are just crazy how like we're in the season of spring. So if you see pleasure and invention, pleasure and invention. Okay. Tiara, look, I mean, this is just your private reading. I love this. So pleasure and invention. A lot of us, our sacral chakra, our sixth chakra, lower chakra. So the root is the bottom 7. And then sacral, it has to do with our pleasure. It has to do with our creativity, our life force, any sexual trauma, things like that. And that highly affects our ability to be inspired and to create when that chakra is blocked or out of alignment. So whoever I'm speaking to, you need to focus on more, creating more pleasure in your life, and not just sexually, just in general. Okay, I got you. Go. So this guidance is more pleasure. Start doing some work on your sacral chakra. Some of us got some trauma here, so I'm speaking to someone very directly. Because of whatever happened in your past, whatever trauma you may still be carrying, or you may have been passed down trauma in your sacral, in your womb area. And this is not just for women. This is just for everybody. We all have a womb space, our lower abdomen. So I'm picking up that some of you don't feel deserving of pleasure. Some of you don't feel deserving of being happy. And that is stunting your ability to create and be imaginative. Because again, that inner child is feeling unseen and feeling unheard. So again, it really does. All these messages, crazy that it keeps going back to this. Because you're choosing not to take the perceived risk and do whatever you need to do, it is blocking your ability to feel the pleasure, to feel the happiness, to be inventive, your imagination. Because again, we cannot feel these higher vibrational feelings without the duality of the low vibrational ones. So because you're avoiding the low vibrational feelings that you are scared to feel by having the conversation with dad, or cutting off mom, or quitting the job, whatever it is that you're scared to do, is what's keeping you stuck from feeling better, feeling the high vibrational feelings that you want to feel. It's so funny. We have 8 people on and 8 likes, 88. I'm just looking at 88 right now. Yeah. So increase the pleasure in your life. Focus on your sacral chakra. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. Look it up. Start looking up sacral chakra. Start looking up chakras. So, and as always, and this message has come out after we have worked with these low vibrational feelings, we've gotten through what we were supposed to do. I've lived a life of fear down here. Yay. Okay. Yes, I love this. Nicole, Chloe, yes. All right, let's go. So now we're going to end with these higher vibrational frequencies, which is what is going to happen. I'm telling you guys, just do the thing that you're scared of. You're going to be rewarded for the fruits of your labor. God is not going, they see your heart, the universe, higher power, source, God, he sees your heart. You're being supported. Go for it. Do what you have to do. If you've been seeing 555, a beautiful change will be waiting for you. And whether that is a new perspective, some more enlightenment, money coming in, job opportunities coming in, a new love interest partner that's actually good for you, is all waiting to come in. But you just have to get through that low vibrational darkness that you're running from. And again, 11, 11, 11. So funny. New beginnings, celebration. So new beginnings is card 11, 11, 11. Divine Father. That is the Divine Father. And it's so funny that the masculine energy is responsible for inspired action, taking direction, making moves. So it's no surprise that the new beginning is going to happen for you once you step into your divine masculine energy and start protecting and standing up for yourself. Notice I said divine masculine. That doesn't mean blowing up and yelling and cussing people out. It means setting boundaries, speaking your truth, and walking away if you have to. That is divine masculine energy. And that is what is going to get you to your new beginning, because you start your new beginning by being different and showing up different. And you can do it as soon as we get off this live. As soon as we get off this live, you can choose to show up in your higher self. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. Oh my gosh, months and months, now I'm my higher self. You can make a choice right now when we get off the phone. Or when we get off the phone, I feel like we're FaceTiming. When we get off this live and someone calls you, or you're presented with an opportunity to set a boundary, to speak your truth, do it. That is how you heal. When you are faced with a trigger, respond in a way that you're not used to responding. That's how you heal. Instead of shrinking and crying and going into a corner, sit in meditation, breathe, allow your feelings to come up, cry if you need to, journal about it, understand what you learned from this experience, and move forward. Learn the lesson and let it go. We need to stop identifying so much with our pain and suffering. So much so that we continue to ruminate on things that happen to us for weeks, months, even years. Let it go. Learn the lesson. Understand that you are here having a human experience and that you are supposed to feel these feelings. It's not uncommon. It's not weird for you to be feeling these feelings. Stop running from them. Once you feel them, you're going to see that, oh my gosh, it wasn't that bad. I got through it. It was just temporary. And then allow your soul to evolve and allow your soul to celebrate. Allow joy to be your new frequency instead of resentment. Allow joy to be your new frequency instead of anger. Allow yourself to be happy by doing what you know you need to do, by being brave. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is having that fear and saying, I don't care about the fear no more. I'm going to do it anyway. We have to stop wanting to go through life not feeling anything uncomfortable. That is not realistic. And by doing that, you're already uncomfortable every day. It's literally counterproductive. You can either feel it for a couple months, a year, go through it, dive into your feelings, feel whatever, feel like shit, feel sad, feel whatever for a couple months, a year, or you can just continue to operate at a very low frequency, not waking up happy and just consistently just feeling sad, feeling in lack. Some of you have been feeling this way for 30 years now, 40 years now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. If you were feeling amazing with what you were currently doing, you wouldn't be seeking help. If you were just feeling great and in alignment, you wouldn't be here. I can only guide you. I can only help you get to your own truth. You have to actually take the steps. You have to actually pick up the phone and say, hey, this is no longer serving me. You have to type up that email saying, in 2 weeks, this is my last day. You have to start betting on yourself the way that you bet on everybody else. And when you start doing that, and when you start believing in yourself, and when you shift, you will start a new cycle. You will close out one karmic cycle, which if you've been seeing 999, that is indicative of closing and beginnings, new endings and beginnings. So if you've been seeing 999, that is your spirit guides, that is your team telling you that we are waiting to gift you with a new beginning, a new perspective, some enlightenment, some inspiration, a new person's coming in, a new job opportunity is coming in. We got it all lined up for you. But we can't make you do the work. We can only try to encourage you and place people in your life that can articulate the messages in a way that inspires you to take action, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing, which is why I'm here. Okay, so that was the messages. Oh, all right. As I said, we got about 20 minutes. What questions? How are you feeling? How are we feeling? What do you want to talk about? Gosh, take some breaths. I feel like that was a lot. I don't know how pastors, like preachers, do like 5 sermon. I don't know how they do 5 sermons a day. Like, you know how some churches, they just go, go, go. Woo! That's a lot. I can't wait to do the inner child work next week. Me too. Me too. I'm excited for some light bulbs to come on. I'm excited for some tears to flow. I'm excited for some anger to come out. Woo! Those are the 2 common emotions that come out that I've seen so far when I'm helping people through their inner child work with my clients, my one-on-one clients, is either, well, actually 3. There's 3. Extreme sadness. I want to release some of the stuff that happened this past week. Me too. Let's release it together, Chloe. Let's release it together. Work through it. Talk through it. If you need to talk through it here, this is a safe place. You already know. But the inner child, the emotions that I see come out the most in my clients are anger. Whoo! And our inner children have a lot of suppressed anger. The second emotion that comes out is the tears, the crying, the sadness, the pain. And then the third one, which is like the hardest one to break through, is the apathy, the indifference. That one, when you're still in the indifference and apathetic stage, that's where my work is more challenging. Because I definitely know how to work with that, because that was me. I was really, 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 really good at convincing myself that I was okay. And because of that, the walls that I had built emotionally were so strong and thick that it really took breaking me down to my knees on the floor. At one time when I was going through my breakup, it took me literally falling to my knees on the floor and just praying and just saying, okay, I cannot take this anymore. Give it to me. I want to see it. I'm ready. I don't want to be apathetic anymore. I want to feel it all. I want to get this. This is like building up. I feel so much pressure in my chest. I feel so anxious keeping all of this in. I can't keep it in anymore. So yeah, when I fell to my knees and I literally just asked God, I prayed. I was like, okay, I'm ready. Give it to me all. Show me all of it. I can't live like this anymore. And then a couple weeks, couple months, everything started flowing in, and it was heavy, and I was in a very distressed state. The person that you see in front of you is not the person that I was. I'm gonna try to find some footage and videos actually in our group if I can. I'm gonna try to find some videos and pictures of how much I was masking my pain and how much I was on substances and not eating 30 pounds lighter. I'm gonna find some stuff to share with you guys during the courses and stuff, because I'm very open and transparent. And the man I was dating recently and getting my promotion is still, yeah. The band thing was annoying. The person I was dating recently ended, and not getting the job promotion is still, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Of course, Chloe, that is a lot. But man, when things all fall apart like that, that means something. That means that you are being divinely guided and protected. When stuff falls apart like that, that means something, a breakthrough is coming. And the universe, God, higher power has to literally dismantle things in our lives in order for us to wake up. Some of us, I was just talking about this the other day, there is a such thing as emotional tolerance, emotional pain tolerance. Some of us have a real high threshold for emotional pain. Like, I know this is necessary, my spirit and ego, and I'm like, yep, exactly. But some of us have a really high pain tolerance for emotional pain, and that's why it seems like, man, when we finally have these breakthroughs and we finally like do it, it takes us literally having to be hurt so bad in such a betrayal and deceitful way, if you're like in a relationship, or it takes our job or something happening where you like, you know, perfect example of like corporate America, where you put in, say, 10, 15 years, blood and sweat and tears into corporate America, working 40 hours a week, paid, and then additional 40 hours not paid for several months and weeks, and you're doing these jobs for free, right? And then what happens? All of a sudden, you get an email that they're laying off 20,000 people effectively tomorrow. Damn. This just got real, right? I knew that I was being taken advantage of all these years, and that didn't feel good, but I still had the emotional tolerance. I knew that getting talked to by my bosses and my superiors like this was not okay, but gotta play the game, you know. I knew this is, you know, gotta do it. I knew that I should be spending more time with my family and that work should not be taking more time from my children, but I'm in fear of money, and, you know, we need this money. You gotta do it. I'm a slave to the money. And then just like that, your world changes. Just like that, something that you thought gave you so much security is gone. So what I'm saying is there's risk in not moving, and there's risk in moving. Why don't you try a different risk? Why don't you try something different and see what happens? So, yeah, I love that when things are falling apart, they're actually falling into place. Absolutely. It took me a while to realize that, but once I caught on to that, Nicole, I started letting everything just go, fall away, leave, let's go. Oh, you don't want to be friends? Okay, bye. Oh, I didn't get the job. Okay, fine. Oh, this happened. Okay, next. I really don't have the energy anymore to dwell on these things anymore, because I know that I trust, I have faith. I don't want to give my energy to fear and what if. I want to give my energy to the present moment and what I can do today to lift my spirits, what I can do today to get back into alignment. What can I do right now that is getting me closer to my purpose? And this is it. Just because I can't talk on TikTok doesn't mean that my voice doesn't matter, doesn't mean that a different platform or a different audience can't benefit from what I have to say. And actually, more people need to hear what I have to say, so it makes sense for me to be growing my platforms simultaneously. It makes sense for me to have multiple ways to provide for myself. It makes sense not to have all my eggs in one basket, because why? There's always a risk. And so since I know that, why don't I set myself up for success? Why don't I give myself a little cushion? Why don't I get ahead of the game, since I already know what can happen? Let me set myself up so that I don't have to worry about certain risks anymore. Logically and spiritually, I know, but my ego is taking a second to catch up. I'm exploring all that this weekend. Absolutely, Chloe, give yourself grace. This is not easy. You have been conditioned for a very long time to let your ego go in overdrive when things don't happen. You've been conditioned. What I notice is when I'm in the middle of a situation, I didn't realize the blessing was in the Okay, can I get a chance to read it? I realized the blessing was in the redirection. I was so busy trying to hold on. Yes, absolutely, 100%. I was holding on to my ex so strong, like just, oh my gosh, did not want to let him go. Couldn't even imagine. And then once I did, things changed for the better for me. I had to surrender. I had to take the risk of the feelings that I was going to feel. And let me tell you, I felt them. And they went away. And then they were replaced with higher vibrational feelings, higher vibrational perspectives, higher vibrational thoughts. And then I started to love myself and feel a way about myself that I'd never felt before. And I only thought that someone else could make me feel that way. But really, I was responsible for that all along. And turns out I feel the happiest that I've ever felt in my entire life. And turns out that so happens to be with me being single right now. Imagine that. The lie that they tried to sell us was a lie. You don't need someone outside of yourself to feel complete. You can feel complete all on your own. You are complete all on your own. You're not missing pieces. Someone else doesn't have the key to your heart. You do. And you can unlock it whenever you're ready. It's up to you. I feel like that's a great stopping point for today's message. I am going to use this weekend to get everything together for our inner child course. I don't think that you're able, correct me if I'm wrong, are you guys able to subscribe to my TikTok when I'm not live? If you guys have done it before, or if any of you subscribed to me when I wasn't on a live, please let me know so I can direct people to that. Otherwise, I will make a video once I understand everything with the TikTok and when the appeal goes through, if it does. If not, I think they said I can go live again on the 15th of March, I believe. Initially, I wanted to do the inner child course on the 14th, but obviously, if we have to do it on the 15th, we'll do it on the 15th. So I will keep you guys posted once I'm able to. Okay, thank you, Chloe. I will keep you guys posted. If not, it'll be easy. If you want to join the course and you're not subscribed, don't worry. I'll give you ample time. And when we start the course on that day, whenever I go live, again, I'll go live a little bit earlier so people can go in and subscribe and then join if they want to. I can open it up. So we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Inner child course next week. You'll get the information you need. Let's start healing. I love you guys. I'll be in touch. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a beautiful day. Do kind things. It will come back to you times 10. I promise. Love you. Thank you for showing up.